So are we going to do asset recovery?
Yep.
Since these two are basically the same mission now?
Yeah, since they're basically the same mission. Oh, I can't replay that one for. I can't replay collateral damage for 30 minutes. Whatever will I
Oh
do?
no!
A Starfleet research team has been infected with the Borg nanovirus. Can you reach them before the Undine do? Yeah, I see what you mean by how these were just basically turned into the same mission.
Yeah.
Admiral, what do you know about the Borg nanovirus? The Borg aren't just assimilating individuals anymore. They found a way to assimilate entire areas. They infect the technology, the water, the flora, even the air. The fuck is...
Borg air.
Borg air! Chain reaction
Algor's worst
explosion.
nightmare.
After that, it's only a matter of time until the entire planet is Borg. They're assimilating the planet itself.
I can see the planet sprouting implants.
The Kazon
massive
were too
fissure.
stupid to assimilate, but the iguanas, and the cats, and the cockroaches
Are more intelligent than the Kazon. You know what I don't get?
Mm-hmm.
They consider the Kazon too unintelligent to assimilate, but they'll assimilate Talaxians.
Says something about the Kazon that Neelix is considered smarter than them. If this process is allowed to continue unchecked, they'll assimilate the entire sector, and from there, they could assimilate the entire Federation.
Dun dun dun.
They'll assimilate Earth, literally. They'll assimilate the grass, and the water, and the air.
The Grand Canyon will start closing and opening to say we are Borg.
Chain reaction explosion. Starfleet has a team working on a counteragent. They went to Keswick 4 to collect more samples, and after that, we lost contact with them. None of these planets have actual names. No, like the colonists settled on like Hotep something, and they like never named it.
It's the fourth rock from the sun. We will call it such.
We need that team and the data they have collected. Our defense plans are useless without them. Isn't this the plot of Infected?
Kinda. No, the plot of Infected is just rescuing the starbase.
I'm sending the Waglinde and I'm sending the Waglinde to the Keswick system. Find the researchers and bring them back. I don't need to tell you how dangerous this is. Watch your back and good luck. Yet no references to the tutorial, either the original or the new one, which I hate.
And the new tutorial is better than the old one.
It's better in terms of gameplay and design, but in terms of plot, it's worse. Like you're a cadet. You just graduated. Guess what? You're captain now.
That's basically what happens in the old tutorial.
No, in the old tutorial you had graduated. You hadn't just graduated. You could at least assume that you'd been in service, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like given a lieutenant's promotion. So you can assume that you like at least have a couple years under your belt of some kind of experience.
You were at the very least Harry Kim.
You are at the very least Harry Kim. You are not even Harry Kim in the new tutorial. You are Wesley fucking Crusher.
Yeah, I was about to say. I expect Patrick Stewart to contribute a voiceover that says "Shut up, Wesley" when you try to do a dialogue.
Okay, energy dampening armor, just a bunch of like weird armors. By this point, you already have access to the Special Task Force missions, so by this point you probably already have better armor than this.
I don't remember what the rewards are on Tribble. I didn't bother to look.
They said they gave them new rewards, which they freaking should, because these suck.
Yeah.
And then, current lockbox, if you pick this...
We will brutalize you.
If you pick this lockbox, I'm going to find you and I'm going to tie you down. And I'm going to put a controller in your hand. And I'm going to make you play Mega Man X6 on hard.
No. You need to force them to play the E.T. video game. That is so bad they barely...
You haven't played Mega Man X6.
No, I actually haven't.
I'm going to make you play Mega Man X6 on hard. On mute. So the only good thing about the game, you won't even be able to hear.
Ooh. Calm down there, Satan.
It could be something else. Could be something else.
So, on Dribble, a good deal of the changes to this mission are graphical. The plot has changed a little bit, in that the people you're rescuing haven't been assimilated yet. You'll also be meeting a friendly face, but I'm not telling you who.
I do know that they brought in talent. I know that STO is going to have some Wang in it, from according to Garrett Wang's Twitter.
Oh, they're bringing. I haven't seen Harry Kim anywhere. I know where he's gonna be. He's gonna be in the new FE because he's not on Triple. All right, are we ready to begin asset recovery?
Yeah. Garrett Wang, for people who don't know who the hell he is,
Ensign Kim
was Ensign Kim, and for the people who don't know who the hell that is, I don't blame you.
Poor dumb Harry.
He was an incredibly underused and bland character on Star Trek Voyager, who they were intending to kill off about halfway through the show's run, but
and then
kept,
he got top 50 most beautiful people in the world, and they had to kill off Cass.
Because they suddenly found out that they had one of the most beautiful Wangs in the world, they had to keep him.
Dang! I never even thought of it that way. Good God.
They couldn't get rid of the Wang because Wang was in high demand that year. So they killed off Jennifer Leon instead.
And brought in Cyber Tits.
Yeah, and brought in Jerry Ryan in 7 to 9 instead of killing off Neelix.
They eventually did remove Neelix from the ship, but he still
in
kept
the second to
back.
last episode.
And he still came back. Like, in Endgame, when SF Debris does the review of Endgame, the stupid Neelix moment needs to be him appearing on the communications grid.
It will be, because it's the only moment he has.
Why can't we get rid of you?
Keswick 4 has been completely assimilated by the Borg, even the water. Chain reaction explosion. And they have begun using the planet as a hub for their ships in the area. They're sure to be aware of our presence. If the research team is down there, they've probably been assimilated as well. Most likely, if they've assimilated the air, they've probably assimilated them. I'm just saying. If we want to send an away team down and find the research team, the first thing we have to do is engage the Borg patrols and find a safe location for our orbit.
Well, Miss Snowface, I have a cloaking device. I don't know about the Woglinde, but I can turn invisible.
Yeah, we have to defeat the patrols, though.
Yeah.
So
I should just be able to cloak around these. You know what? Screw it, I'll launch my runabouts.
chain reaction explosion.
Come on, runabout. Stock properly now. You can duck good.
Ship is under attack. Target shield
Yawn. Wake me up when I've killed everything.
Yeah, pretty much. This is the design of the game. This is the design of most of the missions in the game right here.
We're not Starfleet, we are the Daleks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exterminate. runabouts. Move along home.
You know, this would actually be intimidating if the background textures weren't glitching like that.
I'm not getting any glitch background textures.
Oh, I am. And B, you know, if like they only did this once, and it turned and the ship turned into like a giant moving sphere, that would be cool. Like you were storming the castle of like this giant Borg sphere. That would be great. There are no additional patrols on our sensors, but we are detecting a high concentration of Borg on the planet's surface. We're also picking up the energy signature of a large vinculum, which means the Borg have connected the entire planet to the collective. So the planet is connected to the planet itself is connected.
Isn't the central plexus the thing that connects it to the collective? And the vinculum connects the drones to each other?
Yes.
Also, if they've connected the entire planet to the collective, why don't they install impulse engines on the planet and use it as a ship if they've assimilated the entire thing?
This is the point I was getting at.
Then the Borg would be imposing.
This is what I was getting at earlier. So wait, they've hooked up the entire planet. They hooked up the plankton.
Yes.
The plankton have been hooked up. They hooked up the friggin' They hooked up like all the aquatic life to the collective. Are there a bunch of fish in the collective now?
Crab. Even the crusty crab.
Like are there a bunch of like fish that are now in the Borg collective? Like they assimilated the air and the water. Why would they assimilate the water? And why would they assimilate the ground? How do you even?
Well,
that's
technically speaking, the animals have brains. The brains can be used as processing power for the collective, I guess.
Not much! I could use, like, a friggin'... Like, I still have, like, a Tiger handheld from, like, friggin' 12 years ago. Longer than that. In my, like, just lying around in my closet. I could use that for processing power. It wouldn't fucking give me much. But, like... why would you do that? Like they assimilated the air, the water, the grass, everything. It's like, why do the Borg give a shit? Like their entire motivation is like improvement and perfection and such. How do you become more perfect by assimilating grass?
Maybe they're just getting sloppy because they assimilated Janeway. It's the residual effect of assimilating Janeway.
It's like, it makes no sense. Why would you do that? That sounds... You know what that sounds like?
Janeway?
To me? No. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like some kind of 90s, like, comic book bullshit.
Yeah.
That sounds like some Image comic shit, is what that sounds like. They assimilate the air, man! They assimilate the water and the grass and the ground, man! You can't stop them! What are you gonna do? You know, that's what... You're so
like
overdoing it at that point.
It sounds like whoever wrote this was stoned, which is fitting because it's 420. This is a fitting mission for 420 because whoever wrote this was high.
It means the Borg have connected the entire... Moving on.
Are you ready to board the massive Borg sphere now?
Starfleet believes that the research team can be saved.
How are we going to find them?
They can be saved. I'm interested in how.
Apparently the research team was damaged somehow. All of the research team and no one else.
And they will have the information we need to formulate a treatment that can save multitudes from the Borg nanovirus. Looking at this planet, I doubt that somehow. I doubt they have a treatment for this, considering we're looking at a roboticized planet. This didn't turn out very well for them.
Well, the good... The good news is, on Tribble, they didn't assimilate the entire fucking planet yet. They've been a bit more conventional. That's why the research team hasn't been assimilated when you get there.
They assimilate the air, man!
They
Assimilated
did after
air!
a word called breathing.
But to
Assimilate oxygen.
liberate the research team, we will need to disconnect from the Borg's control. That means dealing with the vinculum. The away team is ready to leave on your command.
I just got the same dialogues again. Strange.
And we are going to beam down unprotected because they assimilated the entire planet.
Which makes perfect sense.
Which makes perfect sense. They assimilate the air and everything, but let's beam down without so much as an EV suit on.
Screw it, I'll bring Kopaka.
Ah!
And you dropped. Cancel.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this.
Kopaka. Exit. Yes, I have a Breen. Well, of course, everybody has a Breen. And yes, he's using the Breen gun.
Okay. The vinculum should be located in the central processing core, but the core is protected by a force field. If we upload a fractal virus to key nodes around the perimeter, we might be able to confuse the Borg enough to drop the shield. Because fractals, because something.
Did you use a recursive algorithm?
I don't know.
By the way, this is a good technique for this version of the mission. If you hide between the alcoves, they can't shoot you until you're done uploading. Which technically makes the encounters unnecessary, but...
You know, if the Borg were this easy to deal with...
then Neelix could have dealt with them.
Yeah, I just we made like a fractal virus. Like, okay, so where has this been? You know, if the Borg were that easy to deal with, why are they a threat? You know, like you can make ways to deal with the Borg that keeps them intimidating. This isn't it.
Ooh, this is the one I like to sneaky. This is the one we can sneaky and not deal with the drones. By jumping up here, and goodbye. Come on, down you go. I always try to find the sneakiest way of doing things because combat in this game can be kind of samey on the ground.
Yeah.
So I just sneak around combat when I can. Which does at times include using stealth modules, but that's tactical officers only.
Although one of the things I do like about the costume changes coming with the next season is you can make a bitchin' sneaking suit from like MGS4 with them.
I've just made generic like armor stuff, like make it look. I've used the kit visuals and armor visuals, and I've actually made it look good to me. It doesn't look quite as much like classic pajamas, even though it kind of does. You know, I just wondered what the kit visuals were for the fleet kits, because I've never turned them on.
Same.
Okay, they've adapted. Time for me to cut you. You adapt to me, I cut you. I wonder if I still have my Borg drone hollow emitter on me.
Yeah, too bad it doesn't work.
It only works when you're not in combat.
No, I mean it doesn't work.
It doesn't work to distract the Borg, no.
It doesn't work to distract anybody. It's like, which is the reason you would want a hollow emitter, because it's like, oh, it's like Star Trek Away Team.
You mean like the same reason they use in Doomsday Machine? Because they do that in Doomsday Machine. They can't even stay canon with their own game.
Yeah. It's like you know, it's like that would be such a cool nod. That would be such a cool thing if you're like, because it's like, oh, it's like straight out of Away Team. Because
This
that was the
makes
whole
sense.
that was the whole premise of Star Trek Away Team is the Federation
This
built
way.
like this like ship that could like holographically disguise itself.
You mean like the Romulan drone ships from ENT?
Yeah, but this came
And the
way
Scimitar?
before that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Romulan drone ships in Enterprise were referencing Away Team. Because Away Team was like a shot. I think it was Simon and Schuster, and it was like way back.
Way back.
No, it
before-
was Activision. It was Activision. Because it was part of the Activision canon. Like, the Activision games had their own canon.
Well, so do the books.
Well, yeah, so the books, but the Activision games had a arguably better canon.
Because
Because
they didn't blow up DS9.
they don't blow up DS9, they don't blow up books like every... They don't blow up, like, planets every friggin' book.
Although there are a couple parts of the Star Trek books that I kind of like dealing with the crisis on Andoria. I kind of like.
Yeah, but, everything about the Typhon Pact has just been so bad.
I kind of enjoyed it. It was a fun read at the very least.
Oh, like...
Although how they did Nan Bako in the fall, I like Nanieta Bako. So I didn't like that they killed her off.
They've been killing off characters left and right, though. Like, throughout the whole Typhon Pact thing. And it's...
If you
been-
notice, I was actually talking to someone on Twitter about that last night before we devolved into SF Debris Janeway references.
And it's just shock value.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Dialogue?
Oh. The force field surrounding the central processor is down. Captain, the vinculum is being protected by a secondary shield, and there is no external access. I may have a way to deactivate it, but it will be dangerous. We're standing on an assimilated planet, breathing assimilated air. But no, like, whoa, hold on. We're taking some crazy chances here. The writing! Yeah.
It got better. Don't worry.
I've isolated the biosignatures of the assimilated research team. Because they were in a regenerative state when we uploaded the fractal virus, their connection to the collective has been weakened. Wouldn't that be like millions, like billions across the planet?
Why can't we just liberate the whole thing?
If we can locate them, there's a chance we can reprogram them to help us without the data being transmitted to the collective. Oh, so, okay, so we've given up on rescuing these people. Essentially. We're just using them as, like, tools.
I think we take them with us at the end.
I can give the researchers a program suggestion, and we use... I can give the researchers a program suggestion, and we use that to get them to drop the shield surrounding the vinculum. Grammar!
It's relatively proper.
If the plan is risky, and we'll need to weaken the researchers before we can reprogram them. But I think it is the best option. So wait, what stops the collective from seeing us shooting at the researcher drones?
Science? Something?
However, we'll need to get all 8 researchers to help us if this is going to work.
As SF Debris once quoted, "Your only mistake was assimilating me." Shotgun!
I
I'm
didn't
the
mean to do
science
that!
officer, I'll worry about the reprogramming. Even though this has nothing to do with science anymore. At least they're not making it go plaid.
At least it isn't timed.
Especially with 8 researchers.
Yeah, 8 researchers in the area being, like, surrounded by Borg.
Connection lost.
Really?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good. That's kind of what comes to mind. Hey, stop adapting to my... If you're going to adapt to my gun, I will have to hit you with my sword. Bad drones. No adapting. Look at what you did to the carpet. Oh, we got a pair of heavy tacks in this one. And we really can't afford to get close. And now that it's become friendly, the heavy tactical drone is shooting it. Maybe they think shooting it will bring it back into the collective somehow.
Mm. Yeah, heavy attacks aren't terribly a threat anymore. The only drone that's a real threat is the friggin' elite drones.
Okay, good. By the way, I don't think this is intentional, but Vascular Regenerator will clear the assimilation debuff.
I think it's intentional.
I thought it was only supposed to be cleared by the immunosupport nanite injectors. That was like the reason they existed.
No, they changed that.
Okay.
The nanite health monitor clears it as well.
No, it doesn't. I had nanite health monitor up and it wasn't cleared.
Oh, I think it's supposed to.
But Vascular Regenerator does it anyway. I mean, I always have nanite health monitor up. So, if nanite health monitor was going to clear it, it would have. Whipping out my lightsaber. Hey, you, damaged Borg. Get more damaged. See, usually when I do this mission, I actually go the other way around and I kind of use this little choke point to kite the drones through into a trap. Especially if I'm on an engineer, because I'll just drop down some fucking chronoton mines and everything will die. Oh, speak of the devils! Too bad I'm not an engineer.
I can't see what's going on, but I'm sure it's something.
Nothing important. We're chopping the damaged Borg. Which is adapted to the extra plasma damage from my Tholian sword, but cannot adapt to cold hard steel.
It's one of the reasons why I wish the secondary attack for the Nanopulse Lurpo was just literally like turning off the plasma and bludgeoning things with it.
With the hilt.
Yeah.
Because they adapt to that.
Yeah, they adapt to it. So, like, I really just sort of wish I could just, like, turn it off and just use it as, like, a straight-up melee weapon instead of just, like, an energy weapon.
You want to use it as a club.
Yeah. Well, I want to use it as a staff, basically.
Yeah. Alright, so I need to refresh that health monitor, because it wasn't killing me.
Either that or have the opposite end in, like, a cudgel instead of a blade. Back off.
Oh, and one thing you'll actually kind of like is, at least in one of the missions in the new arc, they actually added the STF drops, like the Cordrazine and the nanite projectors, to the normal loot tables.
Yeah, those should be in the normal loot tables anyways.
Well, they are in the first mission, which is... I'll go ahead and say it now, the first mission is actually the rework of the Return.
That's done it. The force field should be deactivated soon. Captain, the bridge is reporting the unnamed ships have arrived in the Keswick system, and they're activating transporters. If they're here, it's a good chance they intend to destroy everyone and everything on the planet. We're so close to freeing the research team and leaving the planet population to die, and getting the data we need to stop the Borg nanovirus. We just need a little more time. We can defend the researchers until they can drop the shield around the vinculum. We might be able to make this work. So, switching to a shotgun.
But yeah, the first mission in the new arc is actually the Return, and it's basically... there isn't much changed in the story itself.
Hi.
Hi!
Die, please.
Exterminate! Hey, get off of her. No, Does this go clockwise or anti-clockwise?
I thought it went however the hell they wanted.
No, they spawn in a specific order.
They Borg build
Over here.
pyramids.
I figured it was over here.
You know, as a shot, you know, the only good thing about this assimilated, like this adapted Mako shotgun is the fact that it has a grenade launcher. It's kind of a shitty shotgun.
Although the fact that the Borg don't adapt to the kinetic damage makes it kind of valuable.
Yeah, but as a shotgun, it really sucks.
Also, I'm going to say screw it and go for my physicist kit because I don't use the physicist kit often enough. Here, have some tachyons even though you don't have a personal shield. You know what I really fucking hate?
What's that?
When they nerf the biochemist for the debuff. Like there's a duty officer that actually gives a debuff.
I didn't see that. Captain, the shield is down. The researchers we were sent here to find have been safely disconnected from the collective. Transporter chief will transport them up to the ship immediately. Okay, what did it say before? It said the same thing twice. Okay.
And then 8 I thank yous. But yeah, there's a duty officer that gives a damage resist debuff.
you. I thank you. I thank you.
There's a damage resist debuff on one of the duty officers, and they nerfed it into the fucking ground. Not terrible. I think it was with season 8.5 that they nerfed it into the ground.
Captain,
which is sad.
Who is Thuris? Who are you?
Who's a Sabis?
Captain, the Undine are turning their attention to the Woglinde. Prepare for emergency transport. Why do I have a first officer?
Why do we have a transporter chief?
Shouldn't I be in, like, freaking decon or something right now? Shouldn't I be quarantined? Because I've been breathing assimilated air? The Undine are opening a rift to fluidic space. If they bring more we can't understand the rift, so... If they bring more ships in through that rift, they could destroy the entire planet. We need to stop them, or everything we've done will have been in vain. How?
Now, this mission has always been really buggy, in that it's really fucking hard to target the Undine portal generators for some reason.
This portal generator looks a lot better than I remember it looking.
They don't even bother with this unit.
Although, it just looks like a Stargate. It looks like a big Stargate. That's why. They're amazingly efficient portal generators, considering just one can keep the entire thing open.
And yet they still need 4.
I'm not picking up any Undine or Borg ships on either short or long-range scans. Things seem to be calm for the time being. We should complete the evacuation process and then report back to Starfleet. Many lives were saved here today, Captain. We've done an amazing thing. The planet's still assimilated, covered by Borg.
Yeah, we rescued, what, 8 people?
8 people.
We uploaded a virus to the Vinculum so we can free more. Not that we're going to.
If sound carried through space, you could... So, if... What, did that free the entire planet?
Yep.
If sound carried through space, you could hear the horrified screams of the entire population as they find out that they've had their internal organs ripped out and replaced by machines.
Oh,
You're the best around!
Don't forget the unbearable agony.
Chain reaction explosion!
I'm tempted to take the current lockbox just to piss you off.
The researchers remember much of what they learned while they were connected to the collective, and that has helped them to develop a counteragent to the Borg nanovirus. We'll use it to save the people of Keswick 4 first, and then we'll start treating as many of the afflicted as we can. The Borg will adapt in time. We must stay one step ahead of them. They'll adapt before you're done with Keswick 4. They won't adapt in time. They'll adapt immediately. Ugh, physical augmentation armor, just sell it.
I go for energy dampening. So, state of Q, aka the mission that died.
The mission that no longer is.
Unfortunately. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here. Probably not first.
Yeah, probably not first.
State of Q is dead. It does not exist. Along with, well, technically speaking, collateral damage doesn't really exist anymore.
But it was combined
purged.
with asset recovery. They're just
Yeah.
those two are just one now.
Undine Advance.
All right. Let's see.
Fluid dynamics effectively doesn't exist because most of what fluid dynamics becomes is actually from the next mission. The concepts and even the system that you go to is from A Light in the Dark. They just renamed it Fluid Dynamics. Like, Fluid Dynamics is, like, A Light in the Dark becomes Fluid Dynamics. And I thank them for it, because Fluid Dynamics in its current state is annoying. I refuse to do the current version of Fluid Dynamics without a cloaking device because I want to avoid all of the... They have a fleet of Undine ships in that system. We should be investigating why they're there instead of trying to get into fluidic space.
All right, hold on.